2 persons have died in an accident at Amanase in the Ayensono district of the Eastern region. Now, according to the police report, the deceased were police officer and his daughter.
Reports from the police suggest at about 6:30 a.m. Monday, April 16, 2018, a police sergeant, Daniel Abochi, drove an Opel Astra with registration number GT 174212 heading to Kumasi from Accra. Her daughter was in the vehicle as well. On reaching Amanase, the vehicle is said to have veered off its lane and collided head-on with the Metro Mass Transit bus with registration number GR 4732Z. The police officer and daughter died on the spot. Their bodies have been deposited at the Suhum Government Hospital.
All right, let's do some other stories. There's something that's actually trending that has to do with road accidents, and President Akufo-Addo has approved an action plan aimed at reducing the rate of road accidents in the country. Now, the plan will focus on sensitization, law enforcement, and improving road signages. Now, according to the National Road Safety Commission, 336 people lost their lives to road accidents in the first 2 months of 2018. A total of 2,095 road crashes were recorded in January and February alone, representing a significant rise from the same period in 2017. Now, here on the screen, I'm just going to give you an idea of exactly what the president said and regarding the action plan. So we're looking at 3 key areas of this plan. Now, let's first of all look at education. And in education, the focus will be on resourcing the National Road Safety Commission to scale up public education and sensitization on road safety with an additional 6.5 million Ghana cedis from the Road Fund. And regarding enforcement, we're also looking at A, enforcement of road traffic laws by the police through spot fines by automation of MTTD operations, and B, partner with private towing companies and Nationwide Traffic Management and Enforcement Limited, that's the NTMEL, to vigorously enforce regulations. And now on engineering, we resource the Ghana Highway Authority, Department of Urban Roads and Department of Feeder Roads with at least 335 million Ghana cedis a year to provide signage and road markings for roads over a 3-year period. So at least that gives you an idea of exactly what the plan, the action plan that has been laid down to help curb the issue of road accidents in the country. Now, I've been joined in studio by Nana Ano Amihire, and he is the Executive Director at the Ghana Institute of Safety and Environmental Professionals. Good afternoon, sir. Many thanks for joining us on Midday Live. Right. Now, this action plan that the President has rolled out, what do you think about it?
Well, what do I think about it?
Yeah.
But, it's a step in the right direction, but it's a bit late in the day.
Why do you say so?
Well, why do I say so? You see, in this country, road traffic crashes cost us 1.7, it's estimated at 1.7% of GDP. Now, the amount that is being quoted here pales into insignificance, doesn't it? 6.5 million Ghana cedis for National Road Safety Commission to do sensitization.
Yeah.
That's a very measly amount of money. Now, 335 million a year to provide signage and all that. Anyway, for me,
basically, you think it's not going to make much of a difference?
Because if you look at what it cost the country, 1.7% of GDP. My mathematics is not that good, but if you calculate our GDP, our gross domestic product is 200 billion, isn't it?
So if it's costing us 1.7%
of that.
But the money that is going to be invested in that area is not necessarily is aimed at making sure we don't lose that, based on what you're saying.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's too paltry.
So you think more money should be
More
invested
money,
in that
because
area?
if you are losing, let's say 1% of 200 billion is 2 billion. Extrapolate the other 7%. You're looking at well in excess of 2.5 billion a year. And you want to solve that problem. If you're running a company and then you realize that you are losing that amount of money, an asset, human resource, and you want to solve it, you don't solve it with 6.5 million Ghana cedis when you're losing 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. Do you get my point?
I think I'm getting you.
Now, for me, it's not only about the money,
okay,
but new innovative ways of solving the problem. That's what I'm here, because we go out here from media to media, criticizing and saying all manner of things without proffering solutions. I'm here to proffer a solution.
Do.
Now, the media, you play a very significant role in the sensitization of the motoring public, isn't it? Now, 6.5 million, it will not even last for a quarter. It will go if you were to go and pay for the media and what have you. But it's the collective, road safety is a collective responsibility of everybody, because you get journalists dying on the roads, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have the media owners, they also have their relatives dying on the road. So I've said it over 3-4 years ago, that in the mornings, from 5:30 up to 6 o'clock, what do you hear on the airwaves? Pastors preaching. Everywhere you go, on all the radio stations, it's all devoted to preaching.
So what you're saying is that part should be devoted to
We have
sensitizing
something
road.
we call rush hour. And all Ghana here, we commute to work around that time, 5:30 in the morning. So if you want to bring novel ways of solving the problem, I'm telling you, if NCA, they regulate the media, isn't it? This one, it will not cost them any money. I'm telling you. If the NCA goes to the media owners and say that every morning you want to create something we call rush hour. Every morning, between 1 hour, 5:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the morning, but for your 2 minutes news at 6 o'clock. Devote that period for road sensitization. And you know what?
So you're basically saying that the power lies in the hands of the media.
No, the media, because the media also suffer from these road crashes. The MTTD, you heard the police officer was killed, isn't it? He's the one who's supposed to be the enforcer. So what I'm saying, if the power that be, if they are listening, they should engage the media and propose to the media that between 5:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the morning, simultaneously across the 300 radio stations or TV stations that we have in the country, that hour should be called rush hour. And everywhere you tune in, you should be listening to what do you call it?
Road safety tips and
this and stuff like that.
All right.
If you do that, then you capture the attention of the motorists, the drivers, and whatever. And then you have content. Then you, the media people, must also, because part of your licensing, you must have an input that will benefit the communities that you serve, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
So for me, that is the solution that I want to proffer. So those who are listening, they should listen to
and
this.
I believe they are, because they do listen to us a lot. And
fantastic.
And so we've had in the studio Nana Ano Amire. He's the executive. Amihire. He is the executive director at the Ghana Institute of Safety and Environmental Professionals, and he's basically saying that the media has a bigger role to play in preventing road accidents.